New York, a hell of a town. The Bronx is up and
the battery's down.
And here we go. This is the Battery rerun, everybody. This one has a terrific sunset. This is March 2023, so make sure you check it out to see the sunset. It really is quite beautiful. And that's it. Hope you like it.
Hello.
Hi, everybody.
Deja vu all over again. Didn't we just do a tour today?
We did, but we recharged our batteries, and now we're at the Battery. I will also say that we're using my phone because it's on a different. It's on what is it? LTE, and Patrick's is on 5G. And for whatever reason, the chat is smaller on my phone. We don't understand why. So apologies if we're like squinting away. I forgot my readers, of course, which is a bummer. Hi, Susan.
We're happy you're all here. Welcome, welcome, welcome to New York City. Hi from Indiana. Indiana, Indy Jones.
Oh.
Indiana. That's what I always think of, Indiana Jones. I like added
I didn't
in
know
my head. I like I added lyrics.
We a little fun fact about the two of us. We do enjoy, hi Lisa, we do enjoy adding lyrics to television theme song openings.
that only have music, then we'll just add music and add lyrics to them.
We're not talking about clever lyrics, by the way.
Oh yeah, no, they're not like really good lyrics.
It's British baking. 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 It's British baking show.
That's what we're talking about.
Clearly, we're brilliant lyricists.
Does anyone watch the British Baking Show? I hope so.
Does anyone?
Because if not, then we've just made huge fools of ourselves.
People are leaving in droves.
Hello.
Helen, I'm so sorry. Tour number 2. My apologies. Welcome back, but my apologies that it began that zany. Oh, I heard that Bake Off musical in London is really good.
Oh yeah, we've seen like pictures, people on social media posting about it.
Well, Helen, clearly our zaniness paid off, and you're fine with it. But welcome. Janet says you watch anything British. Laura's you're going in April. Okay, keep us posted.
Oh, fun. If you happen to be new to us, I'm Patrick.
And I'm Aaron. Sorry, I was just reading more zaniness, says Suzanne.
And we're happy you're here. The tour has not started. We still have a little under 6 minutes, and we're going to get going. We usually sign on. If you don't know this, most of you do, but we usually sign on a few minutes early and just say hello and check in and,
and sing the British Baking theme song.
We don't. That's the first time we've admitted that is something we do. Usually only in the comfort of our home. But cat's out of the bag now.
I just got scolded.
No, I'm kidding. No, I know you didn't.
Oh, yay. Hi, Kathleen. In Wisconsin. Dell's here from Texas. We got folks from all over.
Wisconsin Dells, did we wanted to go
We
there?
were going to go to the Wisconsin Dells,
yeah.
And then a little thing called the pandemic happened. We had our hotel booked and everything. Yeah. But we still want to make it back. Consider this your home, says Tish. We need to go. Oh, I see. Yeah, Laura says comforting home. Yeah, absolutely. And we've got Nina in Wales. Sharon Peters says, I sing lots. Well,
we do. We actually do sing lots.
It's usually foolish. It's more foolish than it is sensible.
Yeah.
To be honest.
Yeah, that's true. That is true. But we're happy you're all with us. A little under 5 minutes, and we're going to get going. Speaking of television shows.
Oh, I know where you're going.
We
almost canceled tonight's tour.
No, we are obsessed with a new television program that we are devouring. Like we're literally.
I'm embarrassed.
Like tonight, we changed our plans after tonight's tour.
Yes.
So that we could finish watching the first season of this particular show. I don't know if anybody else is watching.
I'm embarrassed.
It's a new...
Talk about things that...
It's a new... We love ghosts. No, it's a new reality game show called The Traitors. The Traitors. I don't know if anyone has watched it.
Oh my gosh.
There are several different versions. We have started, a recommendation from someone, yes. Someone recommended...
the first one, Tish.
Yeah, Traitors. someone recommended that we watch it, and they suggested that we watch the UK version first.
I guess that was the first.
Yeah, I guess that was the first one. So that's what we're finishing up. Wait, did someone tell you?
No one said, but Helen said they just had a reunion show, which is what I kept saying. I was like, they're going to have a reunion show.
We have to look away. No one we are 2 episodes away from finishing.
Yeah, don't
and
say.
we won't reveal anything that we know for anybody that's going to watch it. But please don't say anything in the chat. I'm not.
It streams on Peacock. And listen, this is no highbrow entertainment.
Oh yeah, no, it's not like.
Please keep that in mind.
It's a reality game show. It's sort of similar to. I never watched The Mole, but I think it's probably something like that. There's some people in the group are certain they have to figure out who certain people are in the group.
Laura says Claudia is immense. We're obsessed with her as well. She's the host.
Oh, yeah.
Jill is saying, enjoyable day after Central Park tour. Yeah, we went home and watched the show. I did do homework for the show that I'm rehearsing, which somebody asked about that. That show is going very well, which is a show called Dear World here in the city, called at City Center Encores. And Patrick ran lines with me because I'm standing by for the 2 principal men in the show. So I have to know all of their lines and their songs and their blocking and their choreography. And fingers crossed, I'm not needed. Fingers crossed they're well, but I just have to be there in case they're not well. So Patrick ran lines with me.
Yeah, we did that. And we also had, we're going to be eating birthday cake
for
a few days. Yesterday was my birthday, so we're going to be working on that birthday cake for a while.
Yeah.
Which is delicious, by the way. Erin made me a birthday cake.
I said I'm going to make a backup one in a couple weeks because
it's really good.
It's not my best work. And somebody asked, watching Last of Us? No, we're totally watching.
We're watching Last of Us. Also, someone I think Laurie mentioned. I think you wrote Shrinked. Do you mean the show Shrinking? Because we're watching that as well, and we love it.
Love it. That one I am not embarrassed to say that we're devouring.
Lots of birthday wishes. Thank you. That was awfully nice. It was a great day. We had delicious cake and fun presents. And
I was rehearsing all day. I felt bad that we didn't get to do anything fun other than devour some of the Traitors, the show. Devour the TV show and the cake. Yeah. We're a minute away from starting, by the way, and just yammering away until we go. Somebody's asking, do you get paid more to go on? No, in this... in some contracts, yes. In this case, no. I'm paid... I'm actually paid as if I'm going on, which is nice, and hopefully I don't have to go on.
It's a short job. It's I don't know if anybody is familiar with the City Center here in New York. They have a series called Encores, which is where they do kind of smaller, little-known shows, and they only run for a week. But in COVID times, they're hiring extra covers and standbys and understudies to just cover just in case.
Yeah.
And so Erin's covering all these parts.
Lots of memorizing.
Love ghosts.
My brain is a little bit fried.
Yeah.
Do we have to audition all the time? We just get phone calls.
Yes, Sue.
They just call and they're just like, hey.
No, we have to audition.
We do.
Yes.
We audition a lot. You kind of just, I always say it's like you just throw your name in the hat and forget about it. You send in the audition and hope they call and kind of, forget about it. I did bake the cake, Jill. It was a banana peanut butter chocolate cake.
Delicious.
And on that note, let's get going.
Let's go.
Cake is always a good time to start. Welcome to New York, everybody. We're happy you're with us. It is 5:30 p.m. here in New York City.
That's right.
It is 10 degrees Celsius. It is 50 degrees Fahrenheit. If you're new to us, or even if you're not new to us and you just forgot, I'm Erin.
And I'm Patrick.
And we're so happy you're with us tonight in New York. It's going to be a beautiful night. We purposely planned tonight's tour to get some sunset shots and to just sort of get a moody sky. And it showed up, and we're very happy about that because it could have gone the other way. It could have been a rainy night, but it's not. It's a nice night. It is a live tour. If you have any questions, please feel free to plop it in the chat along the way. It's thanks, Janet. It's a pretty easy tour for us to follow along the questions on tonight's tour because we're in a park. We don't have to deal with too much traffic. There's a couple streets we have to cross, but that's about it.
Yeah. You can also take pictures on this tour. Such a cool thing. Thank you, Heygo. Thank you to this platform. Anytime you see something that you like, hit the button on your screen. I think if it's on the app, it's maybe in the corner, and if you're watching on your computer, it's in the center, that center button, I think, or on your phone. But regardless, hit the picture button. Hit the picture button.
Take some pics.
Yeah, anytime you want to capture a moment, hit that picture button, and that postcard picture will be saved in your Heygo profile, and you can share those with your family or your friends. Send them to anyone you like. Make a poster out of it. Hang it on your door.
Yeah, on the back of your door, like teenage rooms, New Kids on the Block on the back of the door.
Take some coasters.
Yeah. Shamika asked if we got snow. She got a bunch upstate. No, we didn't get snow yesterday. No. Snow we did not. Finally, in terms of tech, here's what I'm going to say. This tour has plagued us. We came down early and we tested a couple of routes, and we tested Patrick's phone and my phone, which are have two different settings. My phone was a solid signal the whole time on tonight's route. So we're going with my phone, we're going with this route, and we're going to keep our fingers crossed that it stays nice and strong. And if we see it dip, we'll let you know. But I hope we figured it out.
Yeah, we don't know. Maybe it's because it's a Sunday. Maybe the signal was there. We didn't have any problems.
Yeah.
So we're hoping that, hoping for the best here.
You're going to figure out live with us if it stays. Yeah, exactly. The birds are chirping, which means it's time to get going.
Yeah, let's go.
They said, stop yammering and go. Yeah. So we're starting right here at the base of this flagpole. This is the Netherland Monument. This was dedicated December 6, 1926. We've got granite and bronze. It's about, ultimately about 12 feet high, about 3.6 meters. And it commemorates the Dutch establishment of New Amsterdam, which started down in this part of town. Of course, the 17th century European settlement that began New York City. Here's a lovely long shot for you in case you want to take a postcard. This was designed by H.A. van den Yende, sculptor from Haarlem in the Netherlands. And again, dedicated in 1926. Beautiful details on it. You see the Dutch greeting the Lenape tribe. That bronze up there, you see some beavers, because one of the prime commerce at the time was beaver pelt trading.
Yeah.
By the way, we're going to keep our eye on the sunset and try to show shots along the way. So we sometimes, from tonight's tour, might divert away from what we had planned, because if we see a good shot, we might say, abort, run for the shot.
Yeah, the sun is we think it's going to be a really beautiful sunset this evening. So we're going to keep our eye on it, and wherever we are, when the sun is at the perfect position, we're going to stop and head over to the water, and so you can get some good shots, and then we'll resume.
Yeah, we'll pick up where we left off. Now, this is known as the Battery, or most commonly known as Battery Park. It's the southern tip of Manhattan Island, facing the New York Harbor. We'll have some views of the harbor along the way. It's about 25 acres, or about 10 hectares, and it's named for the artillery batteries that were built in the late 17th century. Prior to the settlement down here, we would have seen this area occupied by the Lenape Native Americans, and then by the Dutch settlers that we were talking about. The British took over in 1664, and American troops started to commandeer the fort during the Revolutionary War down here, which we'll see some little remnants of that as well. And its life as a public space began in 1790, following the end of the American Revolution. And today it's home to several monuments and attractions. One of them is this little spot right here, known as the Battery Park Urban Farm. Looks like some recent planting has happened since we were last here, but this was developed in 2011 by the Battery Park Conservancy, and there was a request from a local high school, the Millennium High School, and they wanted to have a vegetable garden here in the Battery Park, and they said yes, absolutely. And so now it's expanded to over 5,000 students who help out with the urban farm.
I also want to show you this really cool gate leading into the farm. First of all, this is the two poles are huge things of asparagus.
I haven't known this is going to be new.
Going in is just a beautiful, beautiful gate, and it's lit so beautifully right now too.
I want an asparagus gate.
I know. Asparagus gate, I love it.
Yeah, asparagus. Over 100 schools, by the way, and there's also some community volunteers who all work here in the urban farm. Thousands of pounds of vegetables and fruits and herbs and grains and flowers. I don't know if you can hear the horn honking, that someone's alarm is going off. They need to click their... oh, there they go. They got it. They took care of it.
The custom house is lit so beautifully. right now.
This is the side of the Alexander Hamilton Customs House that we show at the end of our 9/11 Financial District tour, the Lower Manhattan tour, for those of you that have been on that one. That's the side of it. It is lit so beautifully. So now this is one of our original subway stations you can see right here, the Battery Park Control House, one of the original about 24 subway stations. This was built in 1904. It's kind of got the Beaux-Arts influence we talk about quite a bit. This was designed by Hines and Lafarge, one of the more notable architectural firms of that period.
I'm also just going to use my finger to point right there at
the
very top of the Woolworth building there, too, that we show on our Lower Manhattan tour.
So we're going to cheat. We're going to go in the bike lane. So please don't tell any bikers, and hopefully if any bikers come, we'll just shout our apologies as they
I'll
speed
hop
past.
I'll hop on Aaron's back and pedal my feet.
Oh no, there's somebody's cell phone.
What?
In the garden.
What? What are you talking about?
Back here. Like, I wonder if we should pick it up and try to return it to its owner.
Oh shoot.
Let's see if it's on. Oh gosh. I'm going to leave it in case somebody comes back to look for it there.
Yeah, what if they use the Find My Phone?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we're going to leave it. Also, we've got a tour to give. All right, so it wasn't on.
Fingerprints.
Oh, good point.
I know. We've watched Law and Order.
I know how this
enough
works.
to know. You're right, Judith. Gunk, gunk.
So 2002, the Battery Park Conservancy, they commissioned Dutch plantsman Piet Oudolf, which if you've been on our Highline tour before, you know Piet Oudolf did the landscaping on the Highline, but they commissioned him to do the landscaping here in Battery Park. And again, if you've been on our Highline tour, you know one of his big things is he loves the color of brown to come through in the wintertime. And he loves, like, look at these little bushes on the right. They're almost like makeup brushes in a way, as if they have like a little, the tips of them have like a little sprig of white on it. And he loves that that all gets shown off. So you don't cut anything back until it's springtime and ready for things to kind of spring to life, which we'll start to see some of on tonight's.
Yeah, we got a little bloom starting to open up now.
And he has done pretty much the entire Battery Park. Oh, here we have some lovely berries coming into view to give us a little bit of red. And the idea is to kind of engage visitors through every single season as they make their way through Battery Park. It's I think he's done a terrific job. I think this might be a crabapple tree that we're seeing with the pink. Yeah. It might be that. You'll start to see it coming into view here in just a little bit. But he's done some incredible work here in the park and throughout New York, including the High Line as well.
That's the Staten Island Ferry terminal building you're seeing right ahead of us that we'll be coming up on. But here's that. What we think is a crabapple tree. I'll bet we have some viewers on who will know better than us.
I could be wrong about
these
that.
Trees. We're not really positive.
I know they start to bloom a little bit early.
Oh, cherry? Yeah, I guess. Could they be cherry blossoms?
Could be, yeah. Okay, so we're actually going to just cross the street across from Battery Park and show off a couple things. We'll go over to the Staten Island Ferry, show off that building, and then we'll make our way over to the water to see a smidge of the sunset, keeping an eye on it behind us. I think we're doing all right.
Yeah.
But you're going to see a fantastic giant piece of public art across the street by Keith Haring. Shall we go for it?
Yeah,
I think we can. Oh, yeah, we're fine. So I gave it away. I was going to have you guys guess, and I fully gave it away because I was looking at traffic. But a piece by Keith Haring right here across from Battery Park. So this is known as Figure Balancing On Dog. This was created in 1986. If you don't know Keith Haring, he's known for his colorful sort of pop art look and a very famous New York City artist. Oftentimes he was known for doing paintings on subway ads that have been either torn down. The ads were in the middle of being replaced, or the ads were, sort of faded. He would kind of paint over that area. This is made of steel, by the way, and it is part of a public art commission. Yeah. So now we're just gonna backtrack. We might have to have a moment while the light changes. Let's see. Can we go through here? But actually, we can show the sign, which we don't normally show. The Shrine of the shrine sign of St. Elizabeth Ann Seton, the first American-born saint. So we're at the base of 7 State Street. So originally this would have belonged to James Watson, the first Speaker of the New York State Assembly and a prosperous importer and exporter. Oh, we've got the light now. That's good.
We'll cross the street and then I'll turn back and get a good shot of it.
After the Civil War, Irish author Charlotte Grace O'Brien bought the house with the intention of using it as a way station for young Irish immigrant girls. And it was known as the Mission of Our Lady of the Rosary. More than 60,000 young women sheltered in the mission here. A little bit of scaffolding, always our friend in New York City. We're ever changing, ever fixing, ever updating, of course. And the Archdiocese acquired the building adjacent to it as well. And it was the residence of Elizabeth Ann Bailey Seton, who was the founder of the Sisters of Charity, and as we just showed the sign, the first native-born American to be canonized. Today it's used as a rectory. And we're going to move over here to this little plaza in front of the Staten Island Ferry entrance, and we're going to take you over to this giant boulder. So the Costello Plan Monument is here. The official unveiling for this was in May of 2011. And you see some bronze on top, and then it's on top of a granite boulder. That's by Simon Verity and his partner, and it provides a glimpse of the evolution of Lower Manhattan. So this shows this kind of three-dimensional map of the 1660 New Amsterdam that would have been down here. All 317 houses standing at that time are shown in lovely detail on the map. It's pretty cool.
And it's a 3D map. If you can't tell, I'll just sort of go to the side just to show you that all of those little houses and buildings are raised, which is really kind of cool.
I like it, Mark. I like it. And it's called, by the way, the Costello Plan because it was actually found in the Via di Castello in Florence in 1900. So they named it after where it was found.
Yeah.
And as we sort of pan around, you see right here in front of the transportation hub this little centerpiece of the Peter Minuet Plaza is this little pavilion right here. It was a gift from the Kingdom of Netherlands in 2009 to commemorate the arrival of Henry Hudson in 1609. This was designed by Dutch architect Ben van Berkel, and it serves as a part of it should be a coffee shop, which it looks like they're changing over owners of the coffee shop as well. And then there's a bit of an information hub in there, but it's kind of a fun little structure right there.
Sorry.
No, we're good. Yeah, a little bit of traffic cones.
It's a cool building. I think it was Tish who said that it kind of looks like the Flying Nun's habit, which I have to agree, it kind of does.
It kind of does, yeah. Does it go down, Laura's asking.
Oh.
Well, that's the whole structure. I mean, it's a building. It doesn't fold down or anything. I don't know. I think maybe you're talking about something else. Sorry, because somebody responded. It does. So I think there's another conversation going on. So we'll pivot around, and you'll see the entrance to the Staten Island Ferry right here. So we have ferry, subway, bus, and bikes can all sort of depart, and I guess pedestrians for that matter, could all sort of depart from this area. The Staten Island Ferry leaves about every 15 to 30 minutes from right here. It is indeed free. And what's kind of cool about this area is just within a few steps you could get to basically have transportation to any borough of New York, any of our 5 boroughs. And the ferry, again, leaves about every 15 to 30 minutes. And once you get over to Staten Island, it is a nice, lovely, free way to see the Statue of Liberty. Once you get over to Staten Island, you then have to hop off and just get back on, kind of go around and get back on the next ferry. So you don't stay on and just come right back. You do have to do a little bit of hopping.
You have to hop.
You have to hop, yeah, like a bunny.
You walk like normal.
I say we show the Coast Guard monument
and then
check.
The
Yeah, and then check on the sunset because I feel like we've been away. We need to go check on it.
All right.
But the Coast Guard Monument is on our way. You see it coming into view right here. It was dedicated May 30th of 1955. It's made of bronze and granite, and it's about 8 feet 10 inches high, about 2.7 meters. It was sculpted by Norman M. Thomas, and it's a memory of the men and women of the United States Coast Guard who served in World War II. Installed here at the Battery in 1955. And we did mention earlier there are quite a few monuments and memorials throughout the Battery.
Colleen asks if we will see the Staten Island Ferry. We might see it. It's very distinctive look. It's a huge orange color. So we might see it. And I think, and someone else asked, I think it might have been Mike, can you visit all boroughs via ferry? And
now you can, I think.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
I know you can get to Queens from
Brooklyn.
Manhattan.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, absolutely.
I guess the Bronx too.
So as we make our way over to check out the sunset by the harbor, just take notice of the little playground on our right. It's known as the Battery Playscape, and it's relatively new. It opened December of 2021, and it was designed after Hurricane Sandy. It was designed with hurricanes in mind, actually. So Hurricane Sandy was in 2012, and it really did a number in this lower Manhattan area. It kind of damaged quite a bit of stuff. So this playground is specifically it kind of fosters environmental and cultural awareness through a lot of contemporary design with like sustainable and water conscious features, and it's kind of a cool playground. They even have like a little stage where kids can get up and perform little skits and whatnot. I think the sun has gone down behind Ellis Island, which is going to be stunning. So we're just going to make our way straight over to the harbor to take in this beautiful, I think the sun's already gone behind the building, but we still get the dramatic, perfect skies. Oh, it might be behind that cloud.
It's behind the cloud. It isn't down
Ooh, we're hitting it at a nice time. And what we might do is we might just hang out over here for a couple minutes, which was not our normal tour route, but because it is such a beautiful evening, if our signal likes us, we'll stay over here, because sometimes over here it does get a little dicey, the signal.
We're actually not cold. It's about 50, what did we say?
10 Celsius, 50 Fahrenheit.
Yeah, so it's really not that cold. It's just a little breezy. So, oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Once we get over here, I'll try to zoom in because the sun is actually not down all the way yet. It's just behind those low clouds.
Yeah, you're right. I thought it was behind Ellis at first.
I just want to try to zoom in on that cloud because it seems like, because the sun is right behind it.
Ooh! Now the breeze kicked up.
Sort of outlined perfectly.
I guess we should go over here so we're not blocked by the ferry boat. You're also seeing, of course, the Statue of Liberty is coming into view. Our first shot of Lady Liberty this evening. So this is New York Harbor you're seeing right here. Of course, Statue of Liberty's... goodness gracious, that sky is beautiful.
Do you see what I mean about those? Like the sun is right behind those clouds.
Yeah.
So it's just made the outline of the clouds so beautiful.
And then that is Ellis Island that you're seeing over there in the distance. The ferry boats leave directly from our right to take you over from here. The ferry boats from the New York side, they leave from here and they go to the Statue of Liberty. Then they go to Ellis Island. If you hop on the Jersey side, you go to Ellis Island first, and then the Statue of Liberty.
So there, of course, is the statue coming into view now.
Sharon and Peter, jealous. You went into the Crown. That's really the torch is the one that I'm like, ooh, I would.
I don't. I mean, they let people back in the Crown now, but I think people haven't been able to go to the torch for many, many decades.
And those are real dinosaurs behind it. If you see in the distance there, they're dinosaur skeletons that. Most people don't. It's rare here in New York City. Yeah, of course, Victoria. Yeah. No, Justin, those are not cranes. Those are dinosaur skeletons.
Oh my gosh. I just love the outline of those. I don't mean to harp on it, but right behind Ellis Island there. It's such a cool.
Brendan agreed. It does look very Star Wars-esque.
That is neat.
Yeah, I see now, Justin. I see. Yeah. And I don't know how much it's hitting the water either, the light, but there's a little bit of a sparkle on the water too from that sunset as well. It's really special. We've got some helicopters going above us. Look at those colors.
Yeah, that is nice.
I mean...
Does the ferry go to Staten Island? Yes, it does. The Staten Island ferry goes to Staten Island.
Oh, well, I wonder if they mean the Liberty ferry that I was talking about. That particular one does not, if that's the one you mean.
Yeah. The Liberty ferry just goes to Liberty Island.
Yeah.
I
think let's talk about the East Coast Memorial and then come back for another sunset. We'll see how it's changed. So we'll just pivot around and talk about the East Coast Memorial that's behind us, and then we'll come back for another sunset shot in a couple minutes. But the East Coast Memorial is quite dramatic and right here by the water. It was dedicated May 23 of 1963, and you see these giant sort of walls that are right here. They honor the 4,601 missing American servicemen who lost their lives in the Atlantic Ocean during World War II. Now, in the distance, you're also seeing Lower Manhattan, the skyline of Lower Manhattan there. And these 8 massive 19-foot walls are granite pylons. They have inscribed the names and the rank and the service and state of each of the deceased. And then as we make our way into the middle, you see dramatically there at the other end that eagle made of bronze on a pedestal of shiny granite, polished granite. And the eagle's ultimately about 18 and a half feet tall, about 5.6 meters. And just to keep in mind that the pylons are about the same height. They're about 19 feet tall as well. This was commissioned by the American Battle Monuments Commission. And this was dedicated by President John F. Kennedy, May 23rd, 1963. It really is a stunning monument.
Yeah. Really beautiful.
Oh, sorry.
Trying to get one guy that's on like our same like path. I'm trying to get out of the shot, but
he's like walking at our exact tempo, and I mean he's God bless him. He's reading it, he's enjoying it, and taking it in, but he's ruining our shot. Oh, you even get a little bit of the sunset on the reflection there. Really stunning. Again, this entire monument is known as the East Coast Memorial. And it does honor the 4,601 missing Americans, servicemen who were lost in World War II in the Atlantic Ocean. What do you think? Do you want to go back for let's go back for another little sunset view?
Sure.
Maybe we'll go on that side?
Yeah, that sounds good. This way.
You think so?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. We're just figuring out because the Statue of Liberty ferry is still docked right here, so we're just trying to figure out the best spot to go. Yeah, I think
Julie, we were trying so hard. That guy was just in the same he was on the same path as us, but like parallel.
I also couldn't fully figure out if he was talking to himself or if he had somebody on his Bluetooth.
Yeah.
I wasn't quite sure. But we'll give another shot of that sunset, and then we'll pop back into the park. And I bet when we end our tour, we'll probably have some more dramatic sky views as well. This is a city cruise that's going by the way. If you're curious about the boat you're seeing coming into view, it's just a city cruise that probably goes around a bit of the island.
All right.
Okay.
We'll head back in and then we'll end back out by the water when we finish up. But
I don't want to skip the carousel because
Yeah,
it's
I don't
lit
either.
so beautifully tonight.
Let's run over there.
So we're going to backtrack a little bit because we want you to see the Sea Glass Carousel that's over here. Especially because the last time we did our Battery Park tour, it was closed for some reason. But tonight it is open, and not only is it open, but it is lit perfectly, and you're going to see it coming into view, especially because it's sunset. The lights are shining just so perfectly.
Hi everyone, just joining.
Ooh,
Glad you're here.
happy you're with
Got
us.
a really gorgeous sunset tonight, so we're kind of bopping around. We keep running back out to the water because the sunset's so beautiful tonight. But so we're kind of breaking up the tour a little bit.
We're breaking up?
No.
Oh, okay. Oh, all right. So here we are over here at the Sea Glass Carousel. Now, this was designed by WXY Architecture. And you see, especially as you look at it from a distance, it kind of takes the form of like a giant nautilus shell made of glass and steel. And it houses 30 large luminescent sort of fish figures. And we'll get closer so you can see those fish figures as we make our way over here. And each one was about $100,000 a piece. They were all sponsored by various folks. Oh, it just came to an end. I hear applause. So we'll get some good shots of it as we come up and see them all lit up. Now, it's kind of cool. It's a different type of carousel. It's on a turntable. You can see there in the middle of the floor. It's a turntable that's powered by 4 different meters. The fish, by the way, just to give you an idea, they range from about 9.5 feet tall, or about 3 meters, to about 13.5 feet tall, or about 4 meters. And the turntable is about 46 meters or 14 meters in diameter. It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Now, part of the reason you're seeing this sort of aquarium-themed carousel here is that there was an aquarium here in Battery Park for quite some time. In fact, over in the monument, Castle Hill Monument that we're going to be seeing in just a little bit, that was here, and it's opened in 1896, the original aquarium. About $5.50 for a ride on the carousel, by the way, for about I think about a 3.5-minute ride. All right, so zigzagging all over this evening. Thanks for staying with us as we try to catch the best light, making our way through the Battery. So on our right, this area is known as the Battery Woodland. And this opened to the public in 2017 after a lot of rehab. They really kind of fixed up the lawn. You can see here it is even in the winter, and the lawn is nice and green. They've done a lot of work to make this 4-acre lawn look so good. It's got 82 mature trees in it. We've got pin trees and willow trees and red oaks, sweet gum trees and tulip trees, and they really wanted this to be a good spot for migrating birds and for a lot of bird watching. And in fact, as we make our way along, you'll see that the lampposts have flags on them indicating some of the birds that like to come along here. Here is the lovely house sparrow, so that's one of the birds that likes to pass through the Battery Woodland. And as we continue along, I also see the American crow. What's the next one going to be too? American crow seems scary to me. The cedar waxwing. I like that name, cedar waxwing.
Yeah.
That sounds like a very upscale
that's like a
lawyer.
Yeah.
Connecticut lawyer. Get Cedar Waxwing on the phone.
Yeah, Cedar Waxwing, the third.
The third, exactly. It would be the third. All right, so as we make our way over here, you're going to see the Immigrants Monument coming into view. So this was dedicated May 4th of 1983. And it's made of bronze as well as a little bit of Minnesota red granite there you'll see on the bottom. And this was sculpted by Louis Sanguino, and it celebrates the diversity of New York City, the struggle of immigrants. And you'll see depicted in a variety of ethnic groups and eras. You see a little bit of Eastern European Jews, a freed African slave. You see a priest. You see just a kind of a classic immigrant worker as well. And it really... The poses really kind of show off the struggle and the toil that the immigrants and the dislocated people really experienced. And especially, it's lovely lit with the sign or with the sunset behind it as well.
Yeah, it's a really cool monument.
Now, I said this was sculpted by Louis Sanguino, but it was actually donated by Samuel Rudin in the early 70s, and it was a memorial to his parents who immigrated to the U.S. in the late 19th century. Again, it is known as the Immigrants, this entire statue.
Oh, thanks for pointing that out, Louise. I think it was Louise, yeah. There's the Staten Island ferry coming in right there. Oh, we're just going to get it. It's
before
that big orange ferry coming in.
There it is.
Good eye, Louise.
They just turned the lights on for us. That's very nice.
All right.
Good eye.
So we should go this way.
Yeah, let's do it. Good eye is also what Alex in Melbourne says.
Good eye.
Good eye. So we're going to kind of curve around and give you a good shot of our next location because we're kind of butt up against it, but we don't want to... it's better from afar, which will be the Castle Clinton National Monument. So
this showing a little bit of the skyline there.
Yeah, looking so lovely.
Yeah.
Ooh, you're seeing Lower Manhattan now, the financial district. The World Trade Center area is to your left, and looks so beautiful. We're kind of hitting it at a nice time with the lights coming on.
Seeking Susan. I don't know if that shot any scenes
Ooh, I'm
down
not
here.
sure. That's quite possible.
Yeah.
So this is Castle Clinton that you're seeing right here. So originally this would have been built on an artificial island that was about 200 feet off the tip of Manhattan. But of course landfill came in, and now this kind of got absorbed into the southern part of Manhattan. Named after Mayor DeWitt Clinton, and it served as headquarters for the 3rd Military District. It was saved from demolition in 1946 because it was declared a national monument. Sanguino is the name. Mike Sanguino is the name of that artist.
How are we doing? 30 minutes?
I think we could go there.
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah, we thought if the sunset kept us too long, we were going to cut part of our tour out, but I think we're okay on time. So we're going to keep part of it in. By the way, before Ellis Island opened up, that Castle Clinton that we were showing, that's where a lot of the immigrants were first processed when they came to New York City. And that is also where that aquarium was that I was talking about earlier. It was actually inside. Once Ellis Island opened up, then Castle Clinton took on all these different uses, and one of them was the aquarium. So this is actually Giovanni de Verrazzano. We're seeing the back of him. Don't worry, we'll go around to the front of him as well. But you'll see a great view of him as we make our way around. It was dedicated October 6, 1909. It's made of bronze and Deer Island granite. So in 1524, Giovanni de Verrazzano sailed on behalf of the French monarchy, and he became the first European known to have entered New York Bay, and the first to have seen this site that we now call the Battery, where we're all standing right now. This very dramatic statue of him. Granite pedestal. You also see this bronze female allegorical figure that represents discovery. She's in the front there. Yeah, exactly, Carol Sue, the Verrazzano Bridge. Some of you might have even seen the bridge in the distance when we were down by the water looking at the sunset. We probably will see it at the end of our tour, too. So if we forget to point that out, know at the end of the tour, the bridge you'll probably see in the distance is the Verrazzano Bridge, named after Giovanni Verrazzano. What do you want? Do you want to just skip out, and we're going to cross the bike lane. We're not going to take our chances a second time this evening. And you see Pier A kind of lit up beautifully against the sunset as well. We'll make our way along Pier A in about 5 minutes, which sounds like Pier A. This sounds like what I'm doing to butternut squash later tonight. I'm going to Pier A it.
Sorry, that just took me out.
So, we're going to cross the bike path again and show you the Battery Park Bee Village. Oh my goodness. I swear we haven't had any beer. But there's a little bee village right here. Kind of a newer addition to the Battery Park area. So the bees actually migrated along with the Dutch to Lower Manhattan in the 1600s. Now, not these bees. They haven't lived that long, but beekeeping became legal in New York City in 2011, and these little houses started to take shape in this area. The New York City Beekeeping Organization oversees this project, known as the Bee Village here in Battery Park. It's an all-volunteer group, and hopefully, as we keep coming here to Battery Park to show it off, we'll see it come into life.
Yeah, agreed, Sharon Peter. We should show the Korean monument.
Yeah, let's go up there. Yeah.
Cool one.
So we'll pop in and show you the Korean War Veterans Memorial coming up here. You're probably seeing it coming into view already. It's pretty terrific. Very dramatic with a silhouette there in the middle. It was dedicated June 25th, 1991. And we kind of have this sort of like obelisk made of black granite with a little bit of stainless steel. And then those flags at the bottom that you're probably seeing as well, those are all mosaics as well. And this honors the military personnel who served in the Korean War. The Korean War Veterans Memorial Committee, they selected Mac Adams Design. That's who designed this. And they raised the funds for this monument. Gosh,
yeah.
With that sky,
That's
it looks
really
so
cool.
beautiful.
I'm going to do a long shot here, too, because it's such a cool... Boy, oh boy, that is neat.
Now, the soldier there in the middle is about 15 feet high, about 4.5 meters, just to give you an idea. He's known as the Universal Soldier. And you see that perfect silhouette, that cutout there.
I want to, just because for 1 second, like go to this side. I don't know how much light we have. It might be a little more lit on this side. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, there you see a little bit more. We'll turn again a long shot from this side.
That is so cool.
Oh, Colleen, yeah. Well, I'm glad we can show it off. Oh, you get to see the Universal Soldier on this side too. The inscription at the base there.
All right.
All right. So we're gonna kind of exit and make our way back towards the water. Show off another monument along the water, and make our way out to the end of the pier as well, with some final shots there along the water, but a couple more things to show off before we end. So stick around. We probably have about 5 more minutes left on our tour. Now, a lot of these gardens, especially in this area, are known as the Gardens of Remembrance, and they pay tribute to those who died on September 11th, 2001, and as well as to the survivors who fled to safety, passing through the Battery Park and hopping onto so many of these ferries that leave from down here to get to safety from this area. And we'll start to see them really kind of come to life shortly, but again, it looks like they've just cut them down. These are designed by Pete Udolph, and as we oftentimes talk about, he usually leaves everything brown to stay up until usually March, when they cut everything back to get ready for spring to come in, which is exactly what's happening just now. But we'll see kind of spring bulbs come in, and then there's some hydrangeas in this area as well coming into view. Oh. The pier is making some noises at us.
The waves are moving the pier around.
Yeah. He has 113 species of native grasses as well, and some perennials in here too. And as we make our way along, we'll show you the plaque at the end of this little walk here as well. You can see lit perfectly by the street lamp for us, which is quite so nice. There we go.
Yeah, it's a cool little walk for people to sit and reflect and enjoy. It's a great view.
Now, they also designed the benches at the edge of this walk, and as we make our way along, take notice it's almost got like waves at the end of each bench, essentially. And it's meant to be sort of an extension of the harbor that's to our left, which you'll see in just a little bit. They call this the Battery Wave, this little spiral that's right here. Yeah. And the stone that's used for it, the granite that's used for it, it was extracted from the same quarry as the Statue of Liberty pedestal. So it's meant to be a nice homage to the Statue of Liberty. There's One World Trade that you're seeing there in the shot as well. And here's the American Merchant Mariners Memorial. This was dedicated October 8th, 1991. And this was sculpted by Marisol Escobar, and it was inspired by a photograph of victims in the World War II from a submarine attack. And it depicts a man in the water who might be, is he hard to see tonight? Oh, you can see him. There he is, yeah. You can see the man in the water reaching up to grasp the outstretched hand of 3 mariners on board a lifeboat there coming up out of the pier.
God, it's so moving with the waves coming in and out. You sort of imagine, gives it a very realistic.
Yeah.
Ooh, yikes.
And that's Pier A behind it. I'm laughing again at Butternut Squash Puree. But we're going to make our way out there. So basically, this entire pier was constructed in 1884 to 1886. And originally, it was constructed for the New York Police Department and the FDNY, the fire department as well. And you can see at the end of it, that tower up there with the clock on it that's lit up so nicely tonight for us. That was added in 1919, that little watchtower up there. And it was installed as a memorial to the American soldiers and sailors who lost their lives in World War I. So this is oftentimes referred to as the World War I Memorial. A helicopter is rudely being loud at the tail end of our tour this evening. This is the very first World War I memorial in the United States in 1919 installed. And this entire building is listed on the National Register of Historic Places. And it is also a New York City landmark. And it looks so nice tonight.
It really does.
Oh, I am beyond excited that our signal held up for tonight's tour.
I know. I don't know if, and for anyone that may have done our Battery Park tour the last time, we don't know why. We just got thwarted with the signal. So, just like Almond Joy, sometimes you feel like a nut, sometimes you don't.
Now I want an Almond Joy. Thanks for that. So we are at the tail end of our tour, and we're going to make our way out here to the end. We'll show you some nice dramatic views of the harbor. You'll see Ellis Island silhouetted. You'll see a little bit of Statue of Liberty. Oh, and Verrazano Bridge that we were talking about as well. So we'll kind of, actually, we might as well just sort of show off what each thing is, right? Kind of point it out.
Sure. So, so there's Governor's Island right there ahead of us, which you can take a ferry over to Governor's Island. We've tried testing over there on Governor's Island, and sadly, our test went south. So at this point, that's not a possibility for Heygo tours right now, but there's the Verrazano right there.
Karen, sadly, it's not free anymore. You now have to pay for the Governor's Island ferry.
It's only a couple of bucks.
Yeah, it's not much.
It's not free,
Yeah, Bruce, that's coming up shortly. So there's the Verrazano. We'll get there soon, in a minute. Then as we pan over, you'll see a little bit of Staten Island there in the distance. That's our next little thing. There's Staten Island. Patty, is it worth an interesting place to visit? We really like going over to Governor's Island. There's the Statue of Liberty. You get beautiful views of the Statue of Liberty over there. Governor's Island is good if you have an extended period of time in New York. If you have a very truncated period, it's not always, it may not be worth it, even though it is beautiful and fun. There's so much to see in New York, but it's certainly some of the best views of the Statue of Liberty. Bruce,
it's a great picnic place, exactly. Sharon and Peter,
Bruce, you might be thinking of the Tappan Zee, which is now the Cuomo Bridge. I think the Verrazano is still the Verrazano, unless I could be wrong, though. Things change all the time in New York.
That's right.
And then there is the Ellis Island you're seeing in view. Did you just say that? Sorry,
no,
I'm repeating.
Yeah. You just have to imagine, people coming to New York, immigrants coming in and going to Ellis Island right there and seeing the beautiful Lady Liberty, as they're shipping, being shipped in.
And somebody asked a minute ago or a couple chats ago about the 1920s festival. That is what happens over on Governor's Island. Indeed, it happens over there. I've always wanted to go to it.
Yeah.
Folks get dressed up in their 20s, sort of flapper attire, and we'll flip around and we'll say our goodbyes. We're glad you all joined us this evening. Felt like this was a really good walk. I'm really quite pleased that our signal held up.
I know.
Sunset did its job.
For all reasons, yeah.
And actually, it went away. The moon went behind the clouds. I was going to show that off for a minute but the moon just went behind the clouds. But we have a couple more tours coming up. Let's see. We have Times Square is this Wednesday morning, I believe.
Yeah.
Thanks, Nancy, and thanks, SN. We all.
Guy in Australia, in Melbourne, earlier, and we should go back.
Yeah, we're going to go back. Our signal doesn't like this, so we're moving back.
And Alex created a what does he call it? The Heygo Food Academy.
Yeah.
And so a lot of the guides are participating and cooking at home, and so we're doing that on Pie Day, March 14th. We are going to make pies. So we're excited about that.
Oh, good. Our signal came back up, so that's nice. And we also put up Macy's Flower Show is on the schedule.
That's right.
So I think there's one the last week of March, and I think one the first week of April.
Yeah, that only goes on for a couple of weeks, so we have a limited amount of time to actually see that.
Yeah.
But it's a stunning floral show that they put on at Macy's. So we'll get to show off a little bit of Macy's as well as the beautiful flower show.
The best way to know about all those new tours that we're putting up is to follow us. You can click the follow button, or you can go to heygo.com/Aaron and Patrick. That's the best way to know about all those tours. So give us a follow, and or if you didn't like tonight's tour, give us an unfollow.
Yeah, then if you didn't like it, then our names are Perrin and Atrick.
So thank you again, everybody, for joining us on what was a lovely walk, I think, through the Battery.
I also have to say it smells very happy at the end of this pier right now.
Yeah.
So someone around us, we don't know who, is in a very good mood. So...
and we're about to go home and have a little bit of the rest of Patrick's birthday cake.
Yeah.
And we're going to watch the rest of Traders, the show we're obsessing about right now.
We're obsessed with this new TV show called Traitors. check it out if you haven't. All right, we'll leave you with this beautiful sunset. Thank you all so much. Oh, thanks. I'm not today, so I'm getting lots of birthday wishes. Thank you, thank you. And come see us again soon. There's that beautiful Lady Liberty there. Just
perfect shots tonight.
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness.
Thanks, everyone, and we'll see you all very soon. Thanks, Ava. Yeah.